This is the best of Thriller Teller Animated Horror Stories compilation, and what you are about to hear is a long, continuous, breathless stretch of terror with no breaks, no pauses, and no safe moments in between. The first story begins with Rahul, a college student who moved into a strangely cheap hostel room with only one rule from the owner: never open the old wooden cupboard at the back of the room. Rahul didn't care about the rule until the third night at exactly 3:17 a.m. when he woke up to soft knocking coming from inside the cupboard. At first he thought it was rats, but the knocking was too slow, too deliberate, like human fingers tapping wood. Then came the whisper, low and cracked, like someone breathing through broken lungs, letting it out. Rahul froze in terror as the cupboard door began trembling slightly, as if someone was pressing their hands against it from the inside. He grabbed his phone, turned on the flashlight, and the moment the beam hit the cupboard, the sound died instantly. The next morning he demanded an explanation from the owner, who turned pale and confessed that years ago a student mysteriously disappeared from that room and the cupboard had been sealed ever since. Rahul moved out that same evening, thinking it was over until his first night at the new apartment when something softly tapped the cupboard in that room. The second story follows Rima, a late-night rideshare driver who accepted a trip from a passenger whose profile picture was a completely black square. When she reached the pickup location, a lonely bus stop on a deserted road, the man was already sitting in the backseat, despite her never seeing him enter. He was silent, dripping wet as though he had climbed out of a river, and the temperature inside the car dropped so rapidly that her mirrors started to fog from the inside. When she looked in the rear view mirror, he wasn't visible, but he was clearly sitting behind her. After minutes of silence, he finally spoke in a calm, emotionless voice. "Slow down, you're going to hit her." Rima slammed the brakes and saw a pale woman standing in the middle of the road, eyes empty, staring at her before disappearing in an instant. She turned to ask the man what he saw, but the backseat was empty. Her phone buzzed saying the trip was cancelled, the passenger unreachable, the account non-existent. Later, she learned that a couple had died on that same road, one drowned, the other hit by a speeding car, and since then drivers had reported seeing them searching for each other. The third story is about Aman, who was gaming late at night when he got a message from his best friend Zaid. "Bro, call me, please." Aman called immediately, but Zaid's voice was shaking as he said someone was knocking on his bedroom window on the third floor. Aman told him it could be the wind, but Zaid whispered, "No, it's a hand. I saw the fingers." The call suddenly filled with scratching sounds like nails dragging across glass. Then Zaid whispered, "It's looking at me." Aman tried to keep him calm, but Zaid said there was a face pressed against the window. Grey, hollow-eyed, smiling too wide. The call cut. Aman rushed to Zaid's house, broke the door open, and found Zaid sitting on the floor, shaking uncontrollably, staring at the window. The glass was covered with long scratch marks from the outside. The police later reviewed CCTV footage from the street, and the camera showed Zaid's third-floor window with a dark, long, limbed figure clinging to the outer wall like a spider, slowly turning its head toward the camera before crawling upward into the darkness. The fourth story ties all the horror together. 3 different people in different cities, yet all connected by something unseen. A mysterious, shapeless shadow that appears only at night, often first as a knock, then a whisper, then a reflection, then a face. Rahul heard its voice. Rima unknowingly drove it. Zaid saw it watching him from inches away. And the strange part, all 3 events happened at the exact same time, 3:17 a.m. The final twist comes from a security researcher analyzing unusual reports of people experiencing the same nightmare worldwide, a tall figure tapping cupboards, appearing on deserted roads, clinging to windows. When he enhanced a distorted audio file from one incident, he heard a whisper beneath the static, "Let me in." And the last line of the compilation warns the listener, if you ever hear knocking at 3:17 a.m., don't open anything. Don't check your window, don't check your cupboard. Don't even check your phone, because once you look for it, it already knows where you are.